Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel, everyone. Lanny, Bert, you know us by now. Guys, the story is buying undervalued dividend growth stocks to reach financial freedom. In this video, we're going to talk to you about an undervalued dividend aristocrat that is knocking on the door of becoming a dividend king.
Guys, before we dive into this almost dividend king, subscribe to our channel, give this video an easy thumbs up. Takes 3 seconds. We appreciate every piece of support that you have for our channel. And if you guys are looking for our portfolios, we do post it on our blog, which is in the description of the video. So feel free to check out our dividend stock portfolios. I've seen a few messages, emails, and comments. You can always find it.
You're right, because we are passionate dividend growth investors. Lanny, you've been doing it for over a decade now. I'm on the doorstep of dividend investing for a decade. We're building that dividend snowball through dividend reinvestment, dividend increases, and new purchases. We are seeing our dividend income start to take off finally.
Yeah, let me drink my prune juice now that I'm that old.
Yeah. Lanny likes to think that he should be heading into a retirement home now, but that's a story for a different day. But everyone, this video, let's get to it. Dividend aristocrat, undervalued. Let's freaking go.
So we are talking about a big retail company that's really in the clothing arena. We're talking Vans, North Face, Timberland, Burt's Dickies, JanSport, some of the big brands, as well as the maybe not so big brands, and Supreme, the very highly sought after Supreme gear.
Yeah, they used to have more brands until they completed their spinoff in 2019 of Contour brands. So that was always the fun part of VF Corp several years ago, just how big that portfolio was. 2019, they slimmed it down. They got ahead of that trend. They spun off Wrangler, Lee, Rock and Republic. So now, hey, and the VF Corp outlet business. So there are no more VF Corp outlet malls. They're all Contour brand outlets.
So if you need your real comfortable jeans, you may have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you know what's wild is VF Corp was actually up during that terrible week last week.
Interesting. I think that's hilarious because not too many companies were right now, because year to date, VF Corp, I guess you have to have a bright spot every once in a while, because they're down 35.44% year to date. 1 year, they're down 44%. I mean, I know the S&P 500 has been down, but they are definitely lagging behind the performance of the S&P.
And Bert, I wonder if this is going to be a new dividend stock position for that portfolio of yours, brother.
I don't want to, because in our last video where we talked about 2 other undervalued dividend stocks, T. Rowe Price and Leggett and Platt, click the link above if you want to learn about those two, who are also looking great right now. It was nice that they were already in our portfolios and what you're considering as a stock you own versus having to initiate a new position.
So, Bert, VF Corp finished the week on May 13th, Friday the 13th. Get your children, hide your loved ones, drink your coffee, buy some Dividend Diplomat swag in our spread shop store below the video.
Oh, that's right.
What did VF Corp finish off with?
So they finished at $47.59, so a hair below 50.
Under 50 now.
Yeah, under 50 a share. So for perspective, let's kick that out here. They've come up. They're actually below. Interestingly, they're below where they were at the start of the pandemic, when there was a shock for all the companies. At their 2020 lows of the pandemic, they were in the 48 per share. Now they're even below that at 47.59. Fascinating stuff for VF Corp.
Are you possibly saying this dividend aristocrat may be on sale?
Yeah, much like those Wrangler jeans that they spun off, you may be getting a nice sale here. You don't put Supreme on sale. That's a premium brand right there.
That's a hell of a deal, Bert. So, Bert, 47.59. We're going to look at the 3 Dividend Diplomat stock metrics. 1, the price to earnings. 2, that dividend growth rate, actually a third metric, but the dividend payout ratio is the second metric, between 40 and 60%. Last but not least, one that we add in as the cherry on the top is the dividend yield, which Bert already hinted at. This yield is starting to swell, being down over 30% this year.
So let's run them through that first metric. We said the price is $47.59. Forward earnings per Yahoo Finance are $3.20. That is a PE ratio of 14.87. Definitely trading at a discount to the S&P 500 at this moment.
Well, I would say so. And comparing it to the other video, pretty similar to one of the other dividend aristocrats that we talked about. So that second dividend stock metric, the dividend payout ratio, they currently pay at 50 cents per share per quarter or $2 per year. At that projected EPS though of $3.20, they actually have an above 60% dividend payout ratio at 62.5%.
Interesting. Let's look at the rest. Some of the moving to that third one here. 5-year dividend growth rate is 5.89%. They've been increasing that dividend for 48 consecutive years. So not the strongest dividend growth of late, but they have been doing it for a while through all different kinds of economic cycles. That's the benefit of owning a company that's nearly a dividend king.
I think the last increase was about 2%.
Well, that's 4 times IBM's last increase, right?
Hey, what Bert said. Bert, what about that yield now that the price is down?
It's not 1%, not 2%, not 3%, but 4.2% there. Yeah, that yield is climbing. It is well above the 4% mark here for VF Corp.
Wow. So to summarize, VF Corp right now is a 14.9 P ratio, 62.5% payout ratio. A little over, a little under 6% on the dividend growth rate, albeit the last increase was about 2%. But they've been doing it for over 48 years. Now the yield is well over 4% at 4.20%, falling hard from their 52-week highs, as well as trading below the pandemic lows.
So before we go into what we're going to be doing with VF Corp, Lenny, let's take a little journey to VF Corp's balance sheet here, because we want to look at 2 extra metrics here for the company. 2 things that kind of jumped out as we were preparing the video. One, debt. Their debt's actually going up here. It's increased over the last 12 months. Long-term debt on their balance sheet is $3.2 billion. It was up $700 million from 12 months ago.
And that's after the sale?
Yeah, this is all after the sale. I mean, we know interest rates were down last time, but it's always something to keep an eye on as you're looking at dividend stocks of how much their debt's increasing. You want to keep an eye on that debt load, because when times are bad, these companies are going to have to make a choice between debt holders and paying dividends to shareholders. And one of the 2 never wins in that situation.
Well, let's just say, the shareholders don't win first.
Yeah. So now to move to the current side of the balance sheet, let's look at that current ratio to see how can their current assets cover their current liabilities, which are less than 12 months. That's really the difference there between the short and the long-term portion of the balance sheet. We love seeing a current ratio over 1, because that does mean that your short-term assets cover those short-term liabilities. Here for VF Corp, it's 1.4.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not screaming great from the balance sheet perspective. I hate seeing that debt increasing. That's definitely not the trend you want to see.
That's not the direction you want to see in a rising interest rate environment with heavy supply chain issues, right?
That is absolutely right, Lanny. So here's the question. What are we doing with VF Corp? Are they going to be that new addition to my dividend stock portfolio? Not at the moment. I'm just going to keep watching them. I mean, I get it, but there are some issues and there are some flags that are causing me to think twice before running to the hills to buy. I like the metrics of T-Rowe and Leg earlier in the week. To me, I like those companies a little bit better than I'm liking VF Corp right now.
Guys, you heard it from Bert. I'm also not buying VF Corp. Don't own too many clothing attire from their brands. So no, I'm kidding. That's not the reason why. I think the debt level, the trend levels. I'm curious if somebody knows something that we don't know as well about VF Corp, but I know there's a lot of VF Corp investors out there. So let us know in the comments your take on this, very global branded company. We want to know what you're thinking, what prices you're buying at, and if you're buying these upcoming weeks.
Yeah, and just for some more market research too, let us also know, do you shop and purchase their brands? Laney and I don't, but I'd be curious to see how many of you own the brands that VF Corp sells.
And guys, if you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the channel. Give the video a nice thumbs up. Let us know, as Bert said, other dividend stocks that you're looking to buy or that you're buying, so that we can even do more videos for you in the community. Bert, any other parting words, my man?
Nope. Even though we're not buying VF Corp, there are still plenty of other great stocks out there. So no matter what, let's just keep buying income producing assets and get to financial freedom.
That was Bertha Hurt and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.